Hello and welcome back to MDG Media. We are excited to be bringing you coverage of the 2025 Lätt Open here near beautiful Gothenburg, Sweden. This is Round 1 Front 9 FPO feature card coverage. I'm Connor Wodd, and with me, Mr. Maxime Tanghe.
How you doing, bro?
Amazing. And you, Max?
I'm very happy. We just finished our round. It was very windy and rainy today, so we are back into our beautiful Airbnb. So, yeah, perfect. And you?
Yeah, I mean, you feel the excitement in the air here at Lätt. It's referred to as Disc Golf Paradise, and for good reason. They're challenging the course, they're challenging each other, and they're challenging the elements, as you touched on. Kicking off our feature card, none other than Kristin Lätt. You know her, you love her, sponsored by Latitude 64. She is a force to be reckoned with, and we can see if she continues her momentum here throughout the season.
Silva Saarinen, second on the box today, representing MVP. I think everybody knows how good she is on the green. She's now 980 rated, and that's perfect.
Emilie and Nesse also joining, former Norwegian FPO champion, perhaps current, and incredibly skilled off the tee and on the green.
And another young lady, Julia Force. She is representing DISCRAFT Underground, and she just won her first DGPT event Q Series last week in Eastern Meadows. So pretty stoked to see her with the queen of the FPO division.
We kick it off here on hole 1. A 145-meter par 3 with OB lining the left and right the entire way. A very difficult starting hole. You have to, of course, play it inbounds as well as try and get the distance. A very fine 3 to take to get your round started, particularly for the FPO field where they have the same tee and distance as the MPO field. This is a pump. This is a good one to get your disc out, throw a shot, and get comfortable going into your round.
Beautiful opener, and you could see the average on this hole is 3.89 for this round on the FPO division.
Time for the feature card of the FPO field. Teeing off first, sponsored by Latitude 64 from Estonia. Let's welcome Kristin Lätt.
Kristin, of course, is the favorite to win this event for the FPO field. She is the highest rated player, but that also comes with a lot of expectations and potential pressure. Although if there's anyone who can handle it, it's her, but this is a significantly early release as her hyzer fades out left OB.
Sponsored by MVP Disc Sports from Finland. Let's welcome Silva Saarinen.
Silva, not quite known for her distance off the tee, as you touched on earlier, Maxime. She is very proficient on the putting green, but has really been developing her backhand and her throw in the recent years. Used to rely a lot more on the stand-up. Now she's more comfortable using the full body to generate power.
And this is perfect. Dead center.
Third one to tee. Sponsored by Innova, representing Norway. Welcome, Emilie, Nesse.
One of the future talents in Europe, super young from Norway.
I might argue current talents. We see her on the feature card, and how she'll compete today was also a guest on our Chain Reaction Disc Golf Pro Tour Lätt Stop episode. Make sure to check that out also on MDG.
Last one on the box. Sponsored by DISCRAFT from Sweden. Welcome, Julia Bosch.
Definitely the crowd favorite. She's home.
And she is 13 years old, Max.
Yeah, we've commented the last round of the Eastern Meadows with Elias a couple of days ago. She's impressive, and this is a very good drive. Feels like she doesn't feel the pressure.
As we go to Ida now, up first, trying to approach the green, going OB right. This is where she plays with probably about 65 or 70 meters remaining, and a fantastic touch. She slides up to the mound. We'll have a tap-in bogey. Quite a common result on this hole, I think, leading to that high average score. We see Julia now opting for the forehand hyzer. You have quite a friendly skip here. Even skips back off the rocks will increase the distance of her putt, but a fine throw.
Yeah. The plan is just a par for the ladies on this hole.
Kristin would have to make this to save her par. But you see on that range, it's really an unreasonable expectation considering the OB. And that is the most common result there, is laying up to the mound and taking your short putt. We have Julia up first on the green.
A bit of nerves. Slightly short on the approach. But all good.
She may have heard some of the most scary words in disc golf. It's still you when you have to putt twice in a row, but she's good for the second one and taking that bogey just barely over the scoring average. She will not be lost here in the runnings, as both Ida and Kristin will be taking the same score. Silva, a clean 3. Here we are on hole number 2, a 150-meter par 4. These players are going to want to throw to the mouth of the tree line that then opens up to a 90 degrees dogleg left up the hill and towards the basket. You want to land your drive somewhere between this group of trees in the bottom right of your frame and before the tree line. Anywhere near that dirt patch is ideal, where you're then faced with an uphill 50-60 meter shot. There is a significant chance of roll away both on a missed putt as well as if you come in on too steep of a hyzer into these rocks. It's quite a common play, so you want to try and land something flat on the second shot. And the first is simply placement, both in distance and width. Silva up first.
Very good.
Silva to the sweet spot. We'll see if Kristin is able to match that. Playing a much more aggressive line. Kristin is trying to get into the gap in 1 rather than laying up to the mouth. She simply throws the power hyzer and comes up a little bit early left. It's very dependent how early she is. Sometimes you can find a sneaky gap, but it will be somewhat obstructed. We go to Ida now. Gets this a little bit turned over, the late fade. And she goes a touch long. Just the matter of those final 5 meters will make the difference in terms of what her upshot might look like. I think she will struggle to save the 3, likely playing for par.
This is beautiful again. Great trip. Can you imagine being 13, watching Kristin for years, obviously, and playing with her on your home course in front of a crazy crowd and ripping drives like it's a practice round?
And additionally, I believe today is Swedish National Day, Max. It's a holiday as well, so maybe extra pressure, maybe extra enthusiasm from her hometown and the local support here.
And that also explains the big crowd on the Friday. Cool. She was so impressive last week, and she's just keeping going.
Silva did well to get the height there. She was at a more forehand-friendly angle, but a backhand-dominant player. She did well to find her line and get the birdie look. Julia just blasting something up there, and you really can just go along and use the backstop.
I think everybody in birdie position needs to attack this basket for the eagle. You don't have anything to lose. Put the height. You will bounce on that rock behind the basket. Nothing dangerous.
Yes, that's very true. The early rocks before the green can give a roll away. The ones behind the basket are very rarely giving trouble. And a slight misrelease from Kristin there. Very wide of the basket. Quite a unfamiliar situation for her, for viewers watching her putt. We'll see what she's left with. We go to Silva now.
Oh, wow.
Easy bird.
Yeah. She was surprised also, as we were, but it's in. only one to take a par on the first hole. She's one down. And a good bounce back for the young one.
And these baskets, Max, are also brand new for this 2025 LA Open. These are new Chainstar Pro DISCRAFT baskets installed just days before the event. These competitors got to beat in those chains this weekend. We see here hole 3, a 163-meter par 4 going downhill over this valley. The first shot, you're going to try to either go with the hyzer on the initial right gap, crashing into the hill, or you can go directly at it and try to beat these trees in the left of your frame. You will then try to get your shot up the hill and be left with a birdie putt. This is a par 3 for the MPO field, an attackable par 4 for the FPO field, and I definitely think one that players want to birdie with that average score of 3.63.
I love the straight shot on this one. Looks so good. Catching some branches.
I would say from Silva it was just too low. Simply, you have to get over the tree line that is about halfway through the hole, let's say 80 or 90 meters.
Or do that. Go on the right side of them, exactly as Julia is doing. Very nice.
Throwing like a seasoned veteran already. We see Kristin now has had a bit of a bumpy start. Playing to the right side gap. This is the hyzer I mentioned. What's nice about this is that there's far fewer trees that you need to beat. You simply just need to manage the width and crash into the fairway. She's done well to position herself.
I would have been interested to see the big FPO thrower on this hole. Probably able to go for the eagle. Evelina, Anna.
I would argue some of these players could potentially consider it, but it's simply not worth the additional risk because the 3 is so gettable. Why consider the 5 or even the 6 potentially with the drop zone if you go OB? I like just playing the safe shot, and they talk about where Silva is here, suspended in the tree, I believe.
And she's gonna play inbounds.
That's a huge difference considering where the drop zone is and the gap that you need to hit from there. This is significant swing to her score and result.
Yeah, and she will use it to her advantage. Putting for birdie around 6-7 meters. So many people. So happy about that. Oh wow.
Ida's so smooth, man. She has all the tools.
I don't know if this retriever is long enough, but you could try.
Thank you, Ida. Good soul. I talked to her yesterday, I think, and she was explaining that she played very bad last season on this course, and that she's just looking to do better in the end. Nothing crazy, no crazy expectations, just playing some good golf.
I think that's the golfer's mindset there. Do better, constant state of self-improvement, beating the course. Some good upshots there, but you can see if your drive is good, the second shot is very simple. Silva had a tougher shot off the tree lie, and as a result leaves herself with a long putt. Does not make it.
She was outside the circle, my bad. I was pretty sure she was 6-7. She was more around 11, and good birdies from the 2 young ladies. Perfect. Julia is now 1 down. Very good start.
Silva very color coordinated, matching her base layer to her back stamp. Pretty smooth move.
We like it, Silva. This team is stacked, and we are heading on to hole 4. I leave it to you, my friend.
This is a great hole, 200-meter par 4. You have an initial shot of roughly 100, maybe 110 meters, but downhill it plays maybe like 90. You want to just beat this bush, where you then have a 90-degree turn over this OB river. You need to cross over these white stakes, beat this gap into the green, and then navigate this slope here. It is a treacherous hole with an average score of 5.26. Par you can walk away with happy. You need 2 inbound shots and a putt. A birdie is incredible result here. We see Julia has yet to take a par.
Just control the height, control the fade and the skip. And if you're dead center as Julia is, she'll be able to play big hyzer on the second shot and just go for the layup and the 4.
Way better drive than I threw today on this hole. That is picture perfect from Julia. We go to Kristin.
Same compared to me. And this is also in danger on the left side as she did on hole 1. And this is perfect then. Wow.
So really, fading left on this tee shot is the only significant danger, because you can go as far right as you want without OB. It makes the second shot harder to go to the right, but there's absolutely no punishment. A lot of players, as a result, will throw something slightly understable to ensure that they remove the fade from play, and Ida there punished by that exact mistake. Also throwing downhill, your disc will naturally drag to the left because of the airspace you have. But you can do that.
Yeah, it's okay. She's fine, but that's going to be very tough to reach the green from there. To me, the best way is to go as far as possible on that first shot to open the angle for the turnover backhand or the forehand. I always wonder. Sometimes she does those mistakes.
But it's such a difficult layup to commit to, because even then, after laying up, your par is not guaranteed.
To me, this is the way. You don't have to do anything else. The spot where Silva was a bit tougher, let's say. But in the end, it's a big hyzer. She was stencil maybe, and the distance was, not sure the word I need to use, huge.
Julia has gotten herself very nicely into the open gap. 2 perfect placement shots from her. She's going to be left with a jump putt into the green. And Kristin taking her extra space here. But I think she is one of the few people here, because she's so well positioned, who is going to try to get to the green in 2 and try to hit this late gap rather than lay up before it. She's going to opt for the forehand hyzer to mitigate that sloped green a little bit, crash into it, and she just gets caught on the right side. Honestly, a pretty friendly roll to open up her jump putt approach. And because of the slope in the OB behind the basket, a very common result if you're not circle 1 is to simply lay it up, especially given how well par plays. Silva now playing for bogey at best.
She went OB, so the game plan is not respected, but that's, to me, not an easy hole. I can't say that, but it's a straight shot, control the height, and then just hyzer layup. It's exactly what Julia is showing to everybody. Same for Ida in the end, just went OB on the first.
We're seeing fantastic maturity and wisdom from these young players to just play their placement shots, lay up, make the right decisions. And Silva there does what she needs to do as well.
Yeah, she will take a double.
This hole is mean. We go to Julia, looking to get her first par of the round. This is her 3rd shot on the par 4. If she can put it close and tap it in, she's done everything that she needs to do. Julia effectively played this hole perfectly. Despite not taking the birdie, she was never in danger. She put it exactly where she wanted to every throw and will be given a tap in. Same for Kristin.
For both MPO and FPO divisions, we are happy with the par on this hole, I can tell you. And this is a great one from Julia.
Silva taking the double bogey there. Will go from -1 to +1. Ida as well with the single will be finding herself just over par. And just like that, Julia Force is our leader here on the feature card by hole 4 already.
It's fine, it's a video.
I think it's Camilla Jernberg's dog. She's taking care of the course all year long. And she built it also.
It is beautiful out here. You can see the
Yeah.
attention to detail, the love, the small details that they've done for the aesthetic that aren't even necessary but are so nice. Shout out to all of the people building and maintaining this course. We see here hole 5, a 92-meter par 3, best shaped by a backhand soft turnover with some slight late stability. You can also throw the forehand hyzer flip, but you bring the left tree line much more into play. The most natural shape is a soft flex or slow turnover on the back end. Probably a mid-range for our card here.
Yeah. And you were talking about the details and everything on the course. They brought some Swiss guys to do all the wooded artwork throughout the entire course. One of those was there for the tournament. Super nice.
Shout out to Smim. If he's watching this, a friend of mine from Switzerland. Cool to see him building this beautiful carpentry. And Kristin just dialed on that shot, slides right up to the green. Ida, we saw in the Chain Reaction episode, she was a fantastic guest. She was so good on those Mako 3 turnovers. And this is it. This is her signature series disc, I believe, as well, Max. If it's the same one she was throwing earlier, you see why.
Exactly. Beautiful shot. Two players are parked now. And this is slightly overturned and too low, but she's going to be around anyway. Yeah, 14, 15 meters incoming. She can be deadly from this distance.
Silva up first. She does not lay these up. It's very rare you see Silva be short on the green. And that one was just wide right, but a very long putt. It's not one you expect to make, but of course you give it a bid. We go now to Julia, who is a touch short left, getting a straddle out from the woods.
Showing some wisdom. Not going crazy. That's going to be a second par in a row for Julia.
I think she knows she's in the lead right now, Max, relative to her card mates. She has a good feeling. She knows where she's at.
And I don't think it's a course where you need to get crazy. There's going to be a lot of opportunities. If you don't feel like going for it on one or two greens, I think you just need to follow your feeling. Let's say I should have done that on some greens today.
No doubt picking your spots is really critical here on this course. Knowing when to attack for birdie, when to play for par will get you a very long way. As we see some great birdies there from Kristin and Ida. Pars for Silva and Julia.
Yeah, it can be a slow round. You know, there is a lot of birdies to be taken on the last 6 holes, so you can take your time as we are heading on this hole 6 island.
And what a fun hole this is. It is downhill par 3, 103 meters, but you need probably about 65, 70 meters of power. It's just more about getting your nose and fade angles correct. It's a very fast green, so this hole is best complemented by a disc that lands flat rather than hyzer and is dropping out of the sky. Putter foremost may be an overstable approach to try and manage some small flex. I think mid-range you're already introducing a lot of glide. We will see Kristin. Also a great, you can throw forehand, backhand, you can throw hyzer flip, you can throw flex. I love to see the preference of the players here on this hole.
She's skipping off the log, and I'm not sure if she's in or not.
Neither is she.
Okay, it's a red flag for Kristin. She will need to go to the drop zone, 20 meters away.
Ida getting an understable disc. It's a little bit high. And exactly that nose down angle.
To control this, yeah.
The speed, the pace. I think the line was fantastic, just too much height. That with a bit more nose down would be absolutely sufficient to hit the island. Julia will see if she can make that adjustment significantly lower. The same slow turnover.
Stop.
The green's so fast, man. They're hitting the island, and to stick it just requires something else. I throw Berg just to avoid this fast green. It's the only way to stick it, man. It's really tricky. But if someone has the touch, could very well be Silva.
So easy, stand still. I'm such a fan of this. I do exactly the same. I missed it though. A very nice shot from Silva to probably take back one of the 2 strokes she lost on hole 4.
This is probably 15, 16 meter putt from the drop zone. It's makeable, but very demanding. And I can understand it. Unclear to me if that was a bid or a layup, but I very much could understand just taking your bogey and walking away here from the drop zone.
You know what? I tried half going for it, half laying up, and I rolled. And I lost my battle on this hole earlier. So I think just laying up before the koozie and before taking any risks of roll is very smart.
Well, it sounds like Ida and Julia are both a bit smarter than you on hole 6, Max.
That's true. So Julia was tied for 3rd before this bogey. She's back to even.
As they clean up their short putts here. Definitely a tricky hole.
OTB is very specific on how they list the disc because they want you to like the disc.
Virtually in your hand tells you what the disc is going to feel like, how heavy it's going to be. It's everything you want to know before it shows up to your house.
Not just marketing.
It's only the best.
And we are back, hole 7.
This is a cool par 5. You have OB lining the left and right the entire way. You have intermittent sparse trees throughout the fairway. You want to throw a straight shot into the center fairway. On your second, you want to throw up and more to the right because you'll see to get to the green, you want to swing back to the left. So on your second shot, the more right you are, the more it opens up your angle. For most of these players, it will be then a backhand hyzer on the third up into this green, but it's a very specific narrowing as well with OB on the left side. To get the 4 requires a very specifically shaped upshot, and a lot of players will be at an awkward range and likely just take the par. We go to Silva up first. The second and third shots are much more critical than the first. You really just need to get the first one inbounds and you have a chance for birdie.
Exactly. If they are passing those trees on the left side, they will just be able to attack on the second shot to be nicely deep and have a straight shot to the basket. Oh.
Kristin with, I believe, a grace in her hand. Is she intentionally going over the trees? I would be surprised, although the result is very favorable. She's hit that line beautifully, but it is quite shocking that she would take on that risk that is unnecessary if you are playing for the birdie. I suppose at 234, maybe she has some crazy eagle ideas, but the angle is very tight.
And I feel like she's throwing further than ever. So easy. On hole 3, she went hyzer, and she was exactly at the same distance as Julia, I think, who took the straight shot line.
See Julia once again on that straight shot, but catches one of those few trees, but still birdie is in play from there. She's center fairway. She'll need to give the second one a bit of a pump to close the extra distance she lost, but I mean, she has that. She has a clean swing, great focus.
So we want to reach this pine tree and be more on the left, but as deep as possible. So this is very nice. It makes the angle, the hyzer angle smoother. The shorter you are, the more hyzer you will need to put on your disc, with more risks to go OB on the left side near the basket. Very nice shot, just, yeah, slightly troubled by this tree, but very nice location.
Silva a little bit more pinched to the left here.
Ooh, I like it.
I was going to say the same. I like to see it being forwards pushing. Even though she catches that tree, it's completely fine. The mistake is to be early left. To go too straight is absolutely okay. It will obstruct you, but it will also open up the angle. Kristin here is looking high, playing the power hyzer.
She wants to go deep.
I think she's trying to play for some super aggressive line here. On both the drive and the second, she's going for something that maybe she doesn't need to, and we'll see.
But she knows she can do that. There will be some spaces between those trees. There is absolutely no problem to go too far and deep, as you said. And look at what Julia is facing. So it's slightly hyzer, deep enough. Very good shot.
That might look like a simple hyzer, but you need to manage that back tree line so well. You need to avoid the OB left. You need to fade at the right time, have the right push. It's not as simple as that may seem. Silva as well,
Great shot. Patent pending. Beautiful. She's so good with the standstill throwing.
I believe at some point she was exclusively standstill backhand. So now we see the walk-up integrated into her game, but she still can lean on that experience from years of standstill backhands. This FPO card is just cleaning this hole up here. Fantastic upshots.
Oh, I was going to say it's going to be an easy forehand hyzer, but she released it very early. Still possible to take the birdie from there, but yeah, she puts herself in a complicated situation, let's say.
And that is Silva's miss. She's never really short. She's never really on the cage. She's chain high or she's bend. It's very rare you see a miss from her that is not like that. She gives it a chance, and so does Julia. Super clean birdie. Incredible to put herself back to 1 under.
And we remind everybody, but this lady is 13 years old.
I think if we keep saying it, it will get into the mind a little bit more. She is 13.
She is first or second grade in high school.
I was gonna say, she's not first or second grade, Max.
Oh,
That's
maybe
7 or 8 years old.
Okay,
but in high school,
what?
you're right. You
In high
finished the
school.
sentence. We glossed over
Exactly.
Kristin's amazing putt as well. Kristin made it really hard for herself, but managed to find her way to that birdie putt. Ida as well.
Bro, she probably has some homework to do.
You think she had to take the day off school today? Ah, it's national holiday. But
but
maybe other
maybe she
tournaments.
has
She
a
must
test
ask
on
the
Monday or
teacher. Yeah,
something.
exactly. She has got to go home and study after the winning the LA Open potentially.
They are going to ask, what did you do this weekend? I was playing in front of 500 people, bro. Very nice whole way.
Here we are, 100 meters shot. You have this late gap into the green over the big A. You want to slide your way up. What's best here is to hit the hill before the basket and slide, as anything that hits the green near the basket will often skip long, give them a little bit of trouble. Kristin will kick us off here. Beautiful. That tree is a great aiming point. Try to fade just before it, and she did it exactly as I described. Even landing short of the basket still skips long, but very well executed.
And a great drive to put herself into a situation to go 2 down if she makes a putt. Oh. Overturned for Ida.
It can be quite thick on the right side, but I do believe she's safe. If you go really far right, you can find OB, but it requires quite the shank.
Come on.
I would know from personal experience. We see here Julia just getting to that tree and past it. Well done.
She's putting again. It must be incredible to be Julia or even her father, bro. She must be so proud.
I look forward to seeing baby Tanghe rip up the fairways, Max, in 10, 20 years.
Like baby Lisa, all those babies, they don't know what we are preparing for them.
The next generation is already here. They just need to learn first, grow a little bit. We go to Ida. She has a very awkward shape from down the hill. She has to hit the height and be very tight on the inside. That's a putt. I think bogey at worst. Par is still in play if she can make that. And I don't think she had much more than that, honestly. She could have faded a touch sooner, thrown it a bit softer, but from that angle, it's a very tight Silva.
Surprising. She's missing a significant amount of putts right now.
But if it's anyone other than Silva, it's kind of a normal putting performance, let's say. For her, we have such high expectations that it's maybe surprising, but that's
don't
just
get
golf.
me wrong, guys. It's just she's the putting machine, so we are, as you're saying, expecting so much. And this was a bit shy, early left for Julia. Yes, madam. 2 down. And she seems so much in control, as always. No pressure. Lots of people watching.
As we close out hole 8 here with the tap-ins, we see Kristin with that putt getting to 2 under, taking the solo lead. Julia's putt leaving her just 1 stroke behind. Silva 1 stroke behind her, and Ida 1 behind Silva. We have a sequence of scores here going into hole 9, a 112-meter par 3, also downhill, but as the basket is quite high up on the hill, you have a lot of airspace to work with, but it's just a touch downhill in the net tee to basket height differential. You have the tree line lining the left and the right the entire way, and you really just need to navigate the width, ensure that you can hit the hill and slide on up. I think a lot of players will throw something slightly understable on a hyzer angle for a pure straight flight the whole way. You can flex something as well, but then you need more width. I think the true shape here is a full hyzer flip.
Yes, we like this. It's probably my favorite hole on the course with hole 12. Downhill, beautiful valley.
That'll
Great.
play. Julia using that width available. A little bit too much to the right, overturned, but very much a reasonable shot in position for a long putt up the hill. We go to Silva. Using her MVP discs this season.
Come on. Fight. Slightly short, but again, she's able to make those.
And Ida's just been bouncing around. If you look at that scorecard, she is birdie, bogey, birdie, bogey, birdie, bogey.
I think to say
that means on this hole, what's next, Max?
It should be a bogey.
What? Come on. That is a great throw from her. The only drive to go long of the pin. She's going to be putting back down the hill. I think a lot of players are encouraged to hit the hill before. And look at this crowd. So much enthusiasm. Even full rainy day. The weather was miserable in the morning, and still huge galleries for our FPO feature card. Silva up first, battling the slope.
They know it's a once-in-a-year opportunity, so I'm pretty sure as it's Swedish National Day, they are not working for the main part. So let's just go support the young lady and just watch the machine, the queen, and the young one. Just need to find a name for Ida. Come on, make me lie. I was doing a bad joke, and she is. Merci beaucoup.
Incredible putt, an incredible birdie for Ida. Maybe we'll check in with her on this weekend if she has a nickname already before we make a new one for her. We go to Kristin, just cleaning up. Fantastic drive. And I think Kristin's putting style is very favorable on the slope, both up and downhill. Her natural straddle putt, she uses the legs. She has a balanced stance. I think much more favorable on the slope than a staggered stance putt.
She's going so low between her legs. You know, when I'm comparing to myself, for example, I'm just going to my belly, to my stomach. She's going so low. And
just
using the legs, as you're saying. Sorry.
Just like that, my man. We are through the front 9 of Ale Open, an incredible tournament. We have Kristin Lätt 3 under leading our feature card, Julia at 1 under, Silva and Ida both at even, but with so much golf to play, this is just the beginning. Make sure to join us for this back 9 FPO coverage and MPO later in this day. Round 1 has begun, the Ale Open has begun, MDG is back for 2025, baby. We are
so happy. We are so happy. There is a couple players stacked at -2 also. That's going to be interesting. And we'll see you on the back 9, guys. Thank you.
Peace.